It's time to get ready for the Heart Walk.
So AT&T is really excited to have participated and still being active in the 2020 Heart Walk campaign. Was a galvanizing point for us, and it was one of the bright spots of the year and brought us closer together even though we were socially distancing.
This year's walk was definitely different and in a really good way. I have members of this team from all over the U.S. We have Seattle to North Carolina this year, so it's been really fun to challenge each other. I love to remind people that just because the walk is over doesn't mean that the fundraising efforts have to be. Each time I share a post on social media, somebody makes a contribution to the American Heart Association.
We did the in-store campaign last month, and as a whole, we did over $550,000 in retail, in-home, and we're continuing our donations through online. So what we're doing in October is every Wednesday, we're gonna walk out Wednesday and do some virtual with our teams, get active and, have fun with it.
Our team wasn't just here locally this year. Our team was everywhere from Hawaii to Canada. Me and my wife got to walk together and we got to talk about our why. And our why is her father, who passed away before our children could even be born. We got to enjoy and talk about him. And at the end of our walk, we got to see a rainbow. It was just appeared above us. Spending time together talking about our why was the amazing part of our walk.
It has been a great experience, and our local AT&T employees have such a great can-do attitude. We've actually made our goal for the year, which the experience has been so phenomenal. And have just brought more value to our employees so that they understand how important heart health is.
So being the fact that we're virtual this year helped us as an organization, as a team, to reach out to all the folks in the other cities. You were able to join a lot of people that you normally don't get to walk with. So it was nice to have my family there and my husband and my kids, my dogs.
Welcome to the American Heart Association's National Fall Heart Walk Kickoff for our executive champions and company leaders. I'm Michael Privet, your host for today, and I'm joining you from my home base in Atlanta to kick off our 2021 Fall Heart Walk experience. How nice to be talking about 2021 for a change. You just heard from our #1 National Heart Walk team. That was AT&T, who banded together last year to get this, raise $2 million. Tough year to raise that kind of money, and they did it. It was more than $500,000 over their previous year's fundraising. To all of our friends at AT&T, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for making an incredible impact on our mission. In total, AT&T's 433 teams, what an incredible number, participated in 75 walks with over 4,000 walkers. They also engaged their retail customers by asking for donations, and they found that people wanted to be involved and support our mission. As we kick off our fall Heart Walks, our friends at AT&T said it best. It's time to get ready for the Heart Walk. And that's why our executive champions and company leaders are together today, to hear stories of success from your peers, because the Heart Walk starts with your leadership. Now, please take a moment, if you would, and drop in the chat what city you're joining us from. We've got folks from all across the country, and we would love to know all the walks represented here today. So just take a moment, drop your city in the chat so folks can get a sense of just how far our call is reaching today. Our time together is intended to energize your efforts to rally your companies, your business partners, your employees, to support our missions, and all those affected by heart disease and stroke. Today, you'll hear the secret sauce from 3 of your peers that led successful campaigns. We'll also talk about how to engage your employees with some heart-healthy fun through our Move More challenge, but more on that later. We'll share a fun new thank you gift for all you early bird coaches who are registered by August 4th. So stay tuned for more on this first ever national incentive. And you're here because you know your Heart Walk fundraising is critical to carry our mission forward. We're reducing ongoing risk for heart disease by helping people stop smoking or vaping. We're helping them to learn how to monitor their blood pressure, and we're ensuring access to healthy foods in communities across the country. And we're always funding critical research that saves lives. Heart Walk events happen nearly every month of the year. Our fall campaigns, like Cedar Rapids, Iowa, for example, start in early August with the season ending in December, where our walks happen coast to coast from Tampa Bay, Florida to Coachella Valley, California. The one thing all of our campaigns have in common is you, our great volunteers. We would not be able to do this work without you, without your leadership, without your commitment. So thank you. Now, let's have some fun on the runway for a sneak peek at the 2021 Heart Walk Hero gear that your walkers can earn this fall when they fundraise for the Heart Walk. I'd like to introduce Glenn, a survivor from Oklahoma who's been involved in the Heart Walk for over 10 years, a Heart Walk coach, Siobhan, who is a healthcare worker from Tacoma, and Hadley, a congenital heart defect survivor and heart hero who struts her stuff with her mom, Kelly. Get ready. There's a reason that Hadley was the little heart queen for the Low Country Heart Walk this year. Let's roll the video.
I have a lot of coworkers here today jealous of my shirt and vest, so I've been flossing today.
That's pretty good.
So good. I would love to see the blooper footage from some of those. Wow, all the models looked great in their Heart Walk gear, but their smiles and energy clearly steal the spotlight. Fundraising for the Heart Walk not only makes you and your team members a Heart Walk hero, like Glenn, Siobhan, Hadley, and Kelly that you just met, it earns you points in your personal reward center that you and your walkers can redeem for your very own Heart Walk hero gear. So head to your Heart Walk headquarters, which opens up to you after you register for your local Heart Walk. Then you're going to click on the Rewards Center button at the top. If you're in the app, it's even easier. Just click the gear icon at the top, and you'll find the link to the Rewards Center at the top of your settings list. Take a look around, see what's available to you and all of your registered walkers as you achieve all your fundraising milestones. The Reward Center is our way of saying thanks, and it's a great way for you to model your support for heart and brain health all year long as advocates for the AHA. Now, let's head to Tampa Bay, home to the Super Bowl winning Buccaneers, the Stanley Cup champs, the Lightning, and the American League Championship winning Rays. But for our purposes today, Tampa Bay is home to another champion team, that is Kforce. Kforce recruited 18 members to join Executives with Heart, each of them setting a goal to raise $5,000 each. Wow. They raised over $44,000 with their business partner campaign, and they recruited 19 coaches to recruit and lead their teams all across the company. In total, they ended up recruiting 414 walkers, raising for the first time more than $300,000 for the American Heart Association. I wasn't kidding when I said they're champs. Joining us is Kforce Chief Operating Officer Kai Mitchell, who chaired Tampa Bay's 2020 Heart Walk and served as the executive champion at her company as well. Kai is truly unstoppable, a community leader, a hardworking executive, but most importantly, a committed advocate as a mom to 2 children born with heart defects. Kai, welcome. Good to have you.
Thank you. I'm so thrilled to be here.
We're thrilled to have you here with us. First of all, thank you for chairing your community's Heart Walk campaign in a tough year, no less. What a year to remember. Last fall, which ended up raising over $2.35 million. Your Heart Walk campaign within Kforce also completed with record results for surpassing your original goal. So all of that said, why are you so personally committed to the mission of the American Heart Association?
Well, this is actually a mission that's very near and dear to my heart. Both of my kids were born with congenital heart defects. There was only a 1 in 500 chance that my son would have one after my daughter was born. And unfortunately, the odds were against us and he was born with one. But they are both healthy, thriving teenagers today. They were able to repair their heart defects. And so I'm thrilled to be a part of American Heart Association, looking for ways to give back, to help educate and create awareness for other families like ours who have been through challenging times.
I've worked at HA a long time. I don't know that I have met someone who had both children do this. So clearly you are motivated and doing some incredible work for your kids and for kids like them. Leading the Heart Walk campaign. So share with us how Kforce supported the Heart Walk, including what worked for your company.
Yeah, so we really took a 3-prong approach to this. The first one was getting our executives involved. And like you mentioned earlier, we had strong executive support. I went and encouraged all of them to join. I made personal pleas and made my story known. When we kicked off our campaign, it started with me sharing my story in a video across our organization. And then we followed up with a whole month of spotlighting different people within our company who have been through it, whether kids like mine or adults or parents, you know, who have suffered through heart issues. We did a really effective executive employee spotlight. And then executives and social media. I heard somebody say from AT&T, every time they posted, they got a donation. So the social media blitz was a very important part for ours, especially for people who made it personal. They really were able to get a lot of support.
I love that. You know, sadly, no shortage of stories to tell, but each one is unique and it touches lives differently. That really is just incredible. You shared some really great insights so far. You had amazing results with 18 of your executives joining Executives with Heart, which means they personally committed, I'm going to say this again, to raise $5,000 each. That takes some guts. Tell us about the leadership challenge you issued to your executives.
Yes, so I basically went to all of my direct reports, our entire executive committee, and challenged each one of them, do $5,000. You can either write a check if that's what you want to do, but really let's look at this as an opportunity to get our teams engaged. And so we had our top executive raise $30,000. We did fun games. We got people engaged through trivia nights. I didn't realize I have a secret passion for auctioneering. I did several auctions during this to help raise money, but we just really made it personal. We had a leaderboard. So, you know, we're all competitive. Every week we were sending out the leaderboard to make sure people knew where they were and what they needed to do to step it up a little if they needed to.
Love it. I love it. Kai, while this cause is clearly deeply personal to you, you also found a way to rally your business partners around Kforce's campaign, and they came together raising over $44,000. Really, really impressive. What was the secret?
You know, again, I think it was making it personal. I was very open sharing my history with my family, but we went to, I think clients want to get, we went to clients, we went to business partners, we went to vendors, and our legal team stepped in, we talked to our outside counsel. And so we made it part of that executive challenge that all of us need to go and have an ask of those vendors, partners, clients that we work with. And they came back in a big way. We were so thrilled and happy with what they did.
Well, thank you, Kai. Thank you for sharing your secrets of success and some insights, and of course, your personal journey and fight on behalf of the mission of the American Heart Association. We definitely see the value in your leadership engagement, executives with heart, personalizing business partner campaigns, leveraging the tools, the timelines, all those important resources that the Heart Walk staff offer you. So know this, we'll all be cheering for you when you kick off the Heart Walk campaign this year. So good luck to you, to your team, and to your family.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. Before we hear from our next guest, take a moment to share in the chat why you support the American Heart Association, or maybe who it is that you're walking in honor of. Now we're off to Motown to hear from Henry Ford Health System company leader, Michelle Kapp. They are a longtime partner and just finished their spring campaign with 117 teams recruited, 626 walkers, and over $300,000 raised. They are also currently the #1 fundraising hospital across the entire nation. As you can imagine, there's a lot of hospitals that participate, so that is rare air. Well done. Let's hear more from Michelle. Michelle, good to have you on.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Yes, we, Henry Ford and Health System and HAP, have been so excited to have wonderful success again this year with our Heart Walk. We have been participating in the Heart Walk since 2003 as a major sponsor, participant company, often having many of our leaders serve as chairs or co-chairs. Our success is due in large part to our support from our leadership, as well as a very highly engaged and committed group of employees that rally around this Heart Walk every year to fight heart disease and stroke. Our CEO, President Wright Lassiter, he kicks it off every year with a system-wide email indicating we're going to be supporting again, and the importance of raising funds to support the research and education and advocacy of the Heart Walk, and the fact that heart disease is the #1 killer. It affects our friends, our coworkers, our patients, and our community. And as we heard from Kai, many of us personally have been affected with our loved ones having heart disease and or stroke. So there's no lack of support and passion for this cause. So once Wright kicks off with his email, the next thing we do is we have 5 hospitals and 4 operating units. So each hospital and operating unit, they identify their own champions, and from there, then they figure out their fundraising goal and their plan for their coaches and their walkers as well. And we're off and running after that. So
yeah, that's amazing. It's great. It's sort of both a top-down, bottom-up approach, right? You've got executives championing this, telling everyone it's important, and you're organizing all the way down to the facility level. So that's great. Yeah. Planning and leadership involvement, all key drivers.
Yes, it's been a tradition at Henry Ford for so many years, and employees look forward to it every year.
Yeah. Michelle, would you talk a little bit more about the coach goals for each site, knowing that really is such a critical driver for all the results?
It is, yeah. The coaches are extremely important, and it's also a great opportunity for employees that want to, take on a leadership role too, to be a team coach and lead a team. The coaches are developed at each hospital and operating unit based on the fundraising goals for that particular site, how many employees they have, and what they think they need in order to, reach their goals. Typically, our coaches recruit anywhere from 5 to 15 fundraising walkers, but it really varies. And I will say one thing that all the coaches are excited about is the Team Coach Kickoff, which of course is organized by our Heart Walk director each year. And that's a very vital component to your success and getting everyone engaged and motivated and informed about what's going on. It's especially good for new walkers, but this year, there's always something new going on from the Heart Association. So everyone loves the kickoffs. And, this year we had to have half of them virtually, but it still turned out really good. And so, yeah, that brings everyone together and gets us off to the right start.
Yeah. So as you all are hearing, that coaches are important. Usually companies try to recruit one coach for every 50 employees. This way we can find at least 10 walkers to join them. So that's usually how the math works. Michelle's a longtime supporter. You have some nice traditions to recognize your fundraisers. Would you tell everyone a little bit about your grand club for top walkers?
Yes, the Grand Club. That's one of that's my favorite part of the Heart Walk. Well, after the day of the Heart Walk, the Grand Club. And the Grand Club was established in 2003 by our CEO at the time. And so today, our Wright Lassiter, our president and CEO, continues with the Grand Club Luncheon. And what it is, it's a way to recognize fundraising individual walkers who raise $1,000 or more for the Heart Walk. So if you raise $1,000 or more for the Heart Walk as a fundraising walker, you are in Wright Lassiter's Grand Club. And we have a luncheon for these employees, as well as our leadership. Our Heart Walk champions are all part of it. And it's just a wonderful event to recognize and thank employees for all that they do for the Heart Walk, and really emphasize their efforts going to make an impact to fighting heart disease and stroke. There's a luncheon. We have photos with the CEO. Everyone gets called up, and there's a small memento they're given, and to recognize their fundraising achievements. But it's just a real feel-good event, and typically we have anywhere from like 65 to over 100 walkers in the Grand Club. Last year it was a little light because of COVID, and we had to hold the event virtually, but it still was a wonderful, warm, and just a great, as I said, just a great opportunity to thank employees and then remind everyone why we do this every year is to, fight heart disease. So.
Well, I imagine something that's on a lot of folks' mind who are in today's call is that being spread across multiple locations. This is something that you navigated Henry Ford Health. So can you talk a little bit about how you keep everyone engaged, informed, motivated in the overall campaign when you've got folks scattered across so many locations?
Yes. Thanks. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, we are located, I'm in Detroit right now, which is our headquarters for Henry Ford Health System. And HAP is in Troy, but we have hospitals all throughout Southeast Michigan and even South Central Michigan. But we have a great communications team that sends out regular updates and communications to everyone involved in the Heart Walk. We also have an internal planning committee that sets the pace for the communications and helps manage logistics. We brainstorm for different ways to fundraise, and this year we had to get creative with some virtual events and that. And we pretty much we do regular communications. We have our emails. We also have a very robust intranet site here at Henry Ford, so you can go to the internet site, click on the Heart Walk, and you'll find all the resources related to the Heart Walk, as well as links to the AHA's site. The coach guide is put on there, and all kinds of things. We even have a calendar of events that employees can use to promote their individual events on there. So that really helps keep us together. But we are communicators, so
yeah. Well done. The results would suggest you're doing something right. So with that, Michelle, thank you for joining us. Congratulations to you, to the entire Henry Ford team, and what an incredible campaign. We appreciate you and that continued support. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Before we hear from our next guest, take a moment now to share in the chat why you support the AHA or who you're walking in honor of. If you didn't do that a moment ago, now's a good time to put it out there. I think you'll be struck by how many personal stories, how many people are being remembered and honored and celebrated by participating in the Heart Walk. We're heading down now to the eastern seaboard to South Carolina to hear from a company leader, Travis Torville, who is the wellness program manager at Zeus International Products, which is also a brand new company to the Heart Walk. We are so proud of the work that Zeus is doing in the greater Columbia area, where in their very first Heart Walk campaign, they recruited 46 teams and over 530 walkers, impressive numbers, and raised more than $70,000. Travis, let's get to it. So tell me a little bit about, first of all, congratulations on all those incredible results, especially for a first-year campaign that you're in rare air. So I know that Zeus is a manufacturing company, but maybe you could tell us a little bit more about Zeus, about how the company became involved in the walk, and maybe just why this campaign is a good fit for the company and your employees.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Zeus is a privately owned company, family-owned company. We do medical sales, industrial sales, aerospace. We produce the products that go into final medical devices. So as a wellness program manager, I was looking for, things to do for our employees, our team members to, bring a little bit of light in these dark times during the pandemic. We wanted to address mental health and physical health during these times. And the AHA reached out to me, and I saw a perfect fit. Lizzie and Crystal in the Midlands area, they helped out so much with supporting our teams. And getting people involved and, providing us knowledge and information. The Heart Walk really helped our team build good habits and bring them the confidence to carry those habits after. This means a lot to me personally. My grandfather faced a lot of heart health issues. So it really started off small, but once I got my family involved, within the company, everyone wanted to support that, and what made it so powerful within our company.
Pretty powerful. We've heard, these big companies, but here a family-owned business and a first-year participation. That's really remarkable. Travis, I'd love you to talk a little bit about that. As a new company, it's a lot to absorb, getting everything planned and organized. How did you approach this first campaign?
Yeah, once my family was on board, the CEO, the VP of marketing, my boss, we all got together with the leadership team, and once that email went out to everybody that they wanted to participate in it and that they'd be competing against my family's team and the leadership team, everyone was so competitive and they wanted to be a part of it. Everyone has or knows someone with heart health issues. So it was really important to us to get involved. And we have facilities all over the country. We have team members all over the country, and, to really get them together was a big thing. And, each site that we have is very competitive against each other. So it was really funny to see, but, we did a lot of cool things to raise money, to get people involved. So it was great. But once we had the leadership team involved, it was basically like a tidal wave from that point.
Yeah, so you're touching on something we were just talking with Michelle about, sort of making this a company-wide effort. So it's not just one location, but that everyone feels like they're a part of it. So can you talk more about that, Travis? How did you engage other leaders in your company to be coaches, to form teams, to recruit walkers? What did that look like?
Absolutely. We challenged them. Our marketing team had weekly emails sending out about, what heart health is, what it does, how can we avoid issues in the future? And we have a wellness committee. I have a wellness champion, ambassadors at each site. They rose up to the challenge. They recruited team members at their sites. And, we have sites all the way from South Carolina to New Jersey to California. So, and we have team members all over. So it was great to see the wellness committee come together as a whole as our first real challenge during the pandemic, to bring everyone together during these times. So that was huge. And it was just a collaborative effort between the leadership team, the HR team, the wellness committee, the marketing team. So we couldn't have done it without a collaborative effort like that.
Well, pretty impressive bar for a first year. So of course you got to be look into the future for supporting your next Heart Walk campaign. What would you say, what are you looking forward to the most?
Definitely beating our numbers from last year. This year we learned a lot, and it was kind of like an experiment and seeing how it all worked. But we have a good plan going into next year, and now everyone kind of knows what to do. And, they realize how important it is to their health. And, the most important thing is, what they take and what they learn and the knowledge they retain, it can translate to them and their families daily. I mean, I have so many people reach out to me saying, hey, that heart walk, it changed my life. Every day I'm walking, every day I'm exercising now. It helped them build a good habit. So next year we're coming in with a good game plan, working closely with Lizzie and Crystal. And we're going to come in and try to beat our record, or try to beat our number from this year and get more people involved.
Awesome. Well, my money's on you. Zeus sounds like a pretty special company, and appreciate your leadership and all you've done to support the Heart Walk there. So thank you, Travis. Appreciate you and all the company's support this year.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. So we're coming down the home stretch. Next, we're headed to Oklahoma City to hear from a stroke survivor, AJ Johnson. AJ, we are so happy to have you on. We talk so much about heart disease. I'm so excited to hear your story today and glad to have you here. Share with us what you experienced 8 years ago that has forever changed your life.
Well, thanks. First, thank you for allowing me to share this with so many. 8 years ago, director of the Boys and Girls Club, getting ready to have summer training for staff, wasn't feeling that well, went to an urgent care clinic just to have a simple check done. They gave me a few meds, told me to come back in a couple weeks, went back, and when I showed up for the checkup, first thing they did, they put what I thought on my finger was they were going to check my temperature. It turned out they were checking my oxygen level. And when they checked my oxygen level, my oxygen level was about 70%. And they, the doctor immediately said, we need to get you to an emergency room. Let's go out, tell whoever it is that brought you here to the clinic. And I looked at him and I said, you're speaking to who brought me to the clinic. It was me. And he said, you don't feel anything? I said, I feel fine. How long is this going to take? I need to get back. We have meetings. So I went ahead and I listened. He said, you need to go to the emergency room. So I went and I went to one of our local hospitals here. When I went in, the nurse looked at me and she said, well, what brings you in? And I said, well, I was at an urgent care clinic and they told me I needed to come in here. And so she did the same thing. She checked my blood pressure. It was about 270 over 216. Wow. And then she put the pulse ox on my finger. And I told her, well, I can tell you it's a 70. And she said, no, you're at a 68 now. And the next thing I know, they were wheeling me into ICU and they were connecting me to all these probes. And I'm still asking, what is going on? I have a meeting at 3:00. And the doctor said, I can 100% tell you, you're going to miss that meeting. and so I didn't make the meeting. And while I was in the hospital, he thought I was having a heart attack. And at that time, I asked him, well, if you're going to have a heart attack, aren't you supposed to have chest pains? Or I was told it feels like an elephant setting on your chest. And he said, well, sometimes those things are associated. And I looked at him and I said, well, I don't feel anything. And if I'm going to have a heart attack, I want to feel it.
Don't let this thing sneak up on me.
So he says to me, so you're joking, this is a serious situation and you're joking. And I said, well, I feel fine. And he said, you're not fine. And a couple days after that, being in the ICU, is when I had my stroke. So I did have the stroke in the hospital. So if there was a good thing that happened, it was the fact that I was in the hospital. And I learned a lot about how the heart works, how the brain works, how all of that's connected together. So it was very eye-opening.
I'm trying to imagine what it would have been like to have just been living your life, and then all of a sudden this curveball of events goes, and then you got to change everything. Now you're a stroke survivor, you're at increased risk. And so I have to think, who is it that has helped you stay on track with your health? Because I imagine that was a reset moment for you. What's that look like?
It was definitely a moment of my life that had to reset. Now, part of me, I'm not going to lie, I was ready to give up. I was not the person I was. I lost my ability to walk and speak. It's probably why I talk so much now, because I took those things for granted. But it took my, at the time, my 13-year-old daughter, who climbed up onto my gurney, onto my bed, and looked at me and said, "Dad, please listen to me. Daddy, I love you. It doesn't matter what happens and how you turn out. I love you." Wow. From that moment on is when the fight started with me.
I bet
She's
so.
13-year-old. She's a 13-year-old, beautiful young lady. And to hear a little person say that to you, and excuse me, because I get teared up talking about it.
Yeah, no, she sounds like a special young lady.
That was when the fight started, and she never left my side. She never left my side. She was with me the entire time. And so she was my motivation.
AJ, for a lot of people, the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association may not sort of be a part of their day-to-day life. Then all of a sudden, it becomes incredibly relevant. Could you talk about, well, how did you and your family first hear about the American Heart Association?
Well, when we first heard about it was obviously when I was in the hospital, and a couple of the nurses had told me about how the American Heart Association does have support groups who reach out and they want to talk to you. They want to help comfort you in situations, so you'll know more about it. So that's really where I learned about the American Heart Association, was in the hospital, just about support. Now, a part of me was, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to talk about it. Just let's get whatever I need to get done. And then I started meeting great people like Shantae and Steven and Diane and representatives from MidFirst Bank. They would come and talk with me about all of this. And so that is when I said, okay, I've bought in. I've bought in. And I started doing the Heart Association walks and things like that, and just sharing my story with everyone who would listen, because it was just so important. But it started off as learning about a support group that was there to help me.
Yeah. We think of it all being about the science and research, but that support goes a long way too, especially when you're right at the beginning of a journey like yours.
Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate you calling that out. AJ, you really are an inspiration, and we thank you for being a part of the program today. I got two and a half more decades with my grandmother, who was a stroke survivor. So anytime I hear a story like yours, I think about my grandmother Doris, and appreciate you speaking up, and you're no doubt helping others, and grateful for you. Thank you, AJ.
Sure.
We are in the home stretch now, but before we go, let's talk about how together we are going to get your employees, family, and friends moving this year, and more about the fun new thank you gift for the coaches who register by August 4th. As you heard throughout our featured companies, so many of their campaigns had success when they leveraged additional strategies, including business partner campaigns, top walker recruitment, and securing commitments through executives with heart. Remember to lean on your AHA staff partners to learn about what campaign boosters may make the most sense for your company and teams. Like you heard today, every company is different. We are also excited to announce our 2021 Move More Challenge, that each and every one of you and your coworkers, family, and friends get to be a part of this year when you participate in the Heart Walk. Our goal is to inspire everyone who is registered to achieve at least 150 minutes of physical activity a week for the 30 days prior to your local event date. So the calendar depends on when your local event is, but it's 150 minutes of physical activity every day of every week, during that 30-day period leading up to your walk. You heard Travis talk about how this type of engagement helped his employees learn new habits. 30 days prior to your local event, we will kick off this activity challenge with all registered walkers, and it is so easy. The actual activity tracker is located inside your Heart Walk app, so everything's there to make it convenient for everyone. You'll see leaderboards on the Heart Walk website and your personal rankings, team rankings, and even your company rankings on the Heart Walk app. Your local Heart Walk staff are also excited to talk to you about how to make this part of your campaign this year as you guys get moving. Coaches are really the heart of the walk. You heard this throughout all of our stories today. They're often survivors like AJ, or a loved one who has been impacted by heart disease or stroke. They make the walk a better experience for all the other walkers. They create personal bonds around others doing good together. We thought we have to do something to recognize these folks, these special survivors. So this year, we created the first official coach gear as a symbol of the special role that they play in Heart Walk. We're sending one to every coach who is registered by August 4th. That is why we are excited to announce a fantastic thank you gift for the coaches who are registered by August 4th. So it's going to be here before you know it. It's really important that we get this gear to all of our coaches so that they know how much we appreciate them. And we hope that all of our coaches will wear their official coach gear with pride as a reminder of all the good they're doing and as an inspiration to the teams that they're leading. We already have over 3,000 coaches registered nationwide. That's a pretty incredible number, 3,000. You guys have been busy. Our goal is to recruit 30,000 coaches across the nation. Every coach you recruit helps us build an army of advocates for the mission of the American Heart Association. Why is it so special? What's so special about that date of August 4th? Well, just like you are here with us today, on August 4th, we'll have another national kickoff, bringing together all registered coaches, hopefully 30,000 of them. They'll hear how they too can be successful along with their own front row seat to our Heart Walk Hero Gear fashion show. So to start recruiting your coaches this week and give them a head start to be successful, we'll suit them up in some of our official coach gear if they are registered by August 4th. You got that date written down yet? August 4th. Don't miss out on this great opportunity for them. And we'll make it easy. This gear will be shipped directly to them. So you don't have to collect and distribute these things. We'll take care of all that. The American Heart Association's mission is more relevant than ever, and our work is so critical. Your support of the Heart Walk goes a long way in helping those touched by heart disease and stroke. From the bottom of our hearts, we are grateful for you walking alongside us to support the AHA's work, helping everyone, everywhere, live longer, healthier lives. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for sharing your story so others can be supported and inspired by your success. Together, we are the heart that keeps the AHA beating. August 4th, here we come. Thank you.